We're live.
Yep.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Mets Way. I am one of your hosts, Jared, the Eternal Optimist, and the always patient Levison. With me, we got Drew. Let's see what's gonna happen, or see how it play out. And he's wearing a wife beater tonight. I was expecting one of us at some point to pull that out, and you know what? I think Drew rocks it the best.
It's New York, baby.
And in the bottom right, we still have Tommy Hunter representing. Yeah. And bottom left, we have wannabe Skip Bayless, James Nolan. So like, subscribe, share this. If you enjoy us, help grow the show. We, appreciate any and all the support we could get. And we have a pretty big show today. Haven't really been on a while. We got 2 home series to talk about. An upcoming West Coast trip. Yeah. Again, like, subscribe, share, follow. We appreciate any and all support. Yeah. How's everybody doing and feeling tonight with no Mets baseball?
Not bad.
It's nice.
It's nice to not have Mets baseball.
Well,
No
yeah, 'cause,
strikeouts.
there's a no innate fear tonight for me. It's just like I can just relax and just be like, all right, nothing's gonna hurt me tonight.
How can you live with like sports are supposed to be an escape, but it seems like for you kind of just choose to torture yourself for like 2.5 hours every night.
Well, it's not so much like an active torture, but like in the back of my mind, there's like a growing like gnawing feeling as the game goes on. If like things go bad, if it's like, oh mother, and then it's just like I'm not shaking that come morning. Like it's just bad.
Especially when they strike out with the bases loaded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then my dad would be like, how'd the Mets do? And I'm like, Dad, I really would rather not talk about it. But I know he's just trying to be supportive.
Shut up, Dad!
I mean, I love it having days off. We're hitting. We've got no runs in scoring position, which is the same as if we were playing a game. So it's great. I feel at peace right now. I'm feeling good. I'm looking forward to the future. Not really, but my catchphrase. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. How could you not be looking forward to the future? I mean, I had all these stats prepared on, and we'll get into this later about, our 3 boys in AAA starting to rake, but now I have to like go back and like change all those stats because they were playing tonight, and they're just Mauricio's hitting bombs, Beatty's hitting bombs, and I feel like the offense kind of I don't know, like I feel like the offense is gonna really hit their stride coming on this West Coast trip.
Oh yeah.
But we'll all talk about that at the end. But before we get into that, actually, we just had a comment. Let's comments are fun.
What's going on, boys?
Let's just address this comment.
Blunt
What's up?
thoughts. Shout out Hector, man. Oh my freaking headphones, dude. Yeah, but
Hector-
shout out Hector for watching us. Check out his Blunt Thoughts vid on Mets Twitter. He's got
Blunt-
some good takes.
Is he the guy that like will smoke a blunt in the Mets garden before every game?
I'm not sure, but I did see that the other day. He's always calling Sal Licata, though. He's always on with Sal.
That's awesome. But here, I miss not
He
having
actually had
Mets
Sal on
baseball
one of his
tonight.
vids, too.
Amish County Mets fan. He's bored without Mets baseball. Okay, I mean, I'm kind of with you guys. I like sitting hanging out with Gary, Keith, and Ron. I'm sad we didn't talk about that. They've been on air for 18 years.
He's the best New York announcer.
Yeah,
Easily.
by far, and all 3 of them too. And it's great when it's just Gary and Keith, but when all 3 are together, I don't know. It's just like you're hanging out. There's like I was telling Josh before we got on here, like I literally sat in the same position on the couch, did not move, watching Carlos Carrasco absolutely like shit the bed, and it was like fine because Gary and Keith were there with me, and we were just hanging out. Like I didn't mind that Carlos Carrasco has no command of any of his pitches anymore, But yeah, let's get into that Marlins series. We could touch on that for a little bit, and then I mean, guys, we beat the Padres in a 3-game series 2-1. Feel like that's a little slept on. Yeah.
We did beat the Padres. We didn't beat them in the real 3-game series when it actually mattered, but we beat them in this one, which it's
I don't want to talk about
that.
The Padres.
Oh wait, Jared, you're frozen right now. Let me.
There he goes.
There we go.
He's back. He's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Here, let me I'll send it in the private chat, but let's do player of the series for the Marlins, and then if you want to share, we could talk about our player of the series for the Padres as well.
Yeah, let's do it. You want to do Marlins first?
Jared's Wi-Fi is not competing tonight.
Oh no,
It turned off just like the Mets. They're just like, hey, we're taking off day.
like Carlos Carrasco, he turned off.
Carlos Carrasco wired his router.
All right, but player of the series, I guess, till he's back real quick. I'm gonna see maybe if I could help him out real quick by reloading. Maybe not. All right, there he is.
Okay, we're all back, right?
Maybe.
He's on my Amish Wi-Fi. That's pretty funny. And this guy smokes Blunt Thought smokes blunts before and during games, but not on video. Yeah, that's
Probably smart. Probably smart.
That's definitely a smart thing to do. All right, player of the series for the Marlins. Who wants to go first?
Well, for me, I'm probably gonna go. I know he only pitched one game, so it doesn't really matter that much. But I'm actually gonna go with Kodai. I just think he had another great game. He dominated. I'm just really excited about the potential of Kodai, and especially with Friday coming up, Kodai. So I'm going Kodai Senga.
I like Kodai. That's cool. I like it's like Thursday, Kodai. Okay, Drew. What about you? I'm assuming you also like Kodai.
I joke about how he's the best player in the league. Obviously, we wish that were true, but right now not. But I will say it is fun to watch him pitch, and it is fun to see the rest of the world react to him throwing that damn ghost forkball. And he's getting guys out with it like he's for sure he's my player of the series, and I am very excited to keep watching him because I think he's just gonna keep improving until he is the Cy Young best player in the league.
It's gonna happen this year.
Good.
Another hot take, Josh. What about you?
I will go with big boy Pete Alonso. In his 3 games played, 333 batting average, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, a 1.218 OPS. I mean, I think this Mets offense, we're going to talk about this probably all year because Billy Epler's bad at his job. We need power. And so when you have a guy like Pete who's consistently being dependent on him, when he's doing well, the offense will succeed. And there's no mistaking that during those 3 games, he scored 9 runs and 5 runs. It's all because if Pete's going, the offense is going. And if otherwise it's not, so I got to give it to Pete.
Yeah, I had Kodai too, just because, him having that first start at home, there was just so much excitement about it. There was that kid and his dad were throwing up the ghost thing for each K. That was cool to see. Pete, obviously, that's a great choice. I mean, a home run and 2 RBIs in the game 1 of that series. You listed out all the stats itself. But Jimmy, what was it like going on opening day at home?
Opening day was lit. I sat in 101, so I actually got lucky. I was pretty close. I saw Shane Sons there too out of nowhere. Literally, I locked my keys in my car too, by the way.
Nice.
How'd you get him out?
There was a AAA coverage guy literally right next to where I locked my keys in my car. And I went over to him and I was like, dude, I'm an idiot. I locked my keys in my car. Any shot you can help me out? He's like, yeah, you got to wait a little bit. Give me an hour or two when the traffic in the parking lot clears out. And I'm like, damn, all right. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take the train home and just grab my keys and come back to Citi Field instead of pay $275 or $375 that the fee was. And he's like, wait, where's your car? And I'm like, right there. Look, because it was literally maybe 20 feet away. And he's like, all right, bet. Yeah, I'll do it for free right now. The cameras are off. And he's like, doof. Get my keys. And I'm like, yo, dude, give me your Venmo right now. I'll Venmo you $50 right now. And he's like, I can't do it because if I take money from you and I did it for free, that's going to look like, So he was like, just doing a good thing. And I was like, oh, thank God. I got so lucky. So, and the Mets parking lot lady told me it would be free, but it was not going to be free. So she lied to me. So Mets parking lot people got to step it up. Also, apparently they delayed opening day because they didn't have stuff ready for opening day. I don't know about that, but overall, second opening day, second win, Tyler McGill, second year in a row. I was pumped to see him actually. I feel like he's a guy who feeds off the crowd, even though he had 3 walks, and then Lindor and Alonso going back to back. I think actually someone pointed out to me that for Alonso's home run, I couldn't see it. I didn't watch the game on TV, but I'm sure you guys saw Alonso, did somebody grab his home run? Did like a fan grab it from Jazz?
No, I think it just went over.
It just went over?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were every Mets. I feel like the whole entire stadium when he hit that, we were all confused. We were like, "Did Jazz catch that?" And then boom, the fireworks went off. And the scoreboard is freaking sick, by the way. So, yeah,
It
just
was
takes a while.
it was so Josh also asked this question before. He's like, "What'd you guys think of the pitch clock?" And I was a little hesitant to talk about it because I was like, "Well, I haven't seen it in a live game like at a stadium. Like I don't have the full picture of it yet. What was it like for you seeing it in person and on TV?"
Well, so I think the scoreboard is awesome, by the way. So that's what Shane's son just talked about. But the pitch clock, like you can kind of like they don't show the pitch clock on the scoreboard, so that was a little odd. Like I thought there would be like more like graphics for the pitch clock all over the stadium. So they really only have the 4 like behind home plate and in center field. So I'm not sure if you could possibly like see it in different parts of the stadium. And then like game wise, like it took it about a whole entire inning and a half on the bathroom line. It was also partially because it was opening day and it was sold out, but I could only imagine. I didn't even get food, so like I didn't want to risk getting food and miss like getting food because I already missed an inning and a half watching on the bathroom line with a bunch of random Mets fans. It was like we made it fun. Like it was like everyone's there, shooting the shit. Like made it fun.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, shooting the shit around some shit.
See, that's why I never eat or drink at baseball games or really sporting events in general because like I don't want to get up to miss anything.
Oh, dude, and especially now, it's horrible.
Well, this was really funny. Like I saw like Jeff Passan was talking about how like stadiums now are like losing money, obviously, like teams because of concessions. And then I was reading the comments and someone was like who gives a shit? They still charge $20 for a beer and like $15 for a hot dog. Like they can go fuck themselves. Like what do you mean? Like just lower your price? I don't know. Like
I think they need to bring back the people like the salesmen that were walking around with beers, walking around with hot dogs. Because I thought with the new pitch clock and knowing that it's going to take a while to get food, that maybe we'd see more people walking around with the beers on their head and the hot dogs on their heads. And hey, hot dogs, beers. We need those back. There's no more of those people. I feel like going in and out of sections. So if they can bring that back, I think they can rise their concessions back up.
I would love that job. It would suck. It would be brutal, but it'd be. I think it'd be a pretty.
I think I want to be the cotton candy guy because that would be light work just walking around with a bunch of cotton candy. Being the hot dog guy, or the beer guy, that's pressure.
An issue with the pitch clock as well is now the stadiums are pushing back the concessions. So like you couldn't buy a beer past a certain point, right? I don't remember it was
seventh inning.
Yeah. So now they're pushing it back towards the end of the game, which means you could get a beer, drink it, and then just drive home, which, for that's not good. So I think you got to look at it as they're losing money and they're trying to compensate, and I think it's still a work in progress.
So I guess kind of changing gears here back, who is your player of the series? Well, I don't know. Who disappointed you the most in that Marlins series? We had our player of the series. 3 of us had Kodai. Josh had Pete. I don't know who underperformed. Who disappointed you?
Honestly, Mark Hanna. Not gonna lie. I mean, he's just been disappointed.
You're just a Mark Hanna hater, dude.
You guys don't like Mark Hanna, and
I like Mark Hanna. He's a can hater, man.
I'm a can hater. I'm a full-on can hater. I just think
can hater.
We got a loaded roster with a $364 million payroll, and I don't hate Mark Hanna. I just think, he shouldn't be the left fielder of the New York Mets. I feel like he's a bench piece on the New York Mets. If he's a starter, maybe somewhere else, maybe on like the Oakland A's, but not with the Mets. Not for me.
I don't agree with that. Like, I think everyone hates Mark Hanna because he's not producing right now, but like he's a good defender. He's a smart hitter at the plate. Is he going to hit 300? No, but like you can't have guys who are all-stars at every single position. The Astros had Chas McCormick as their center fielder last year, and they won the World Series. You're going to have depth pieces somewhere along the line. I think Hanna's fine.
Was Chas the one who made that sick catch?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, that might have been one of the coolest things ever. Amish country Mets fan, Escobar, but James send him warm hugs, and he's going to hit for the cycle on Friday. Can it actually hit well? that series, but not the Padres series. I think Mark, I'm glad you brought up that he is a very like intelligent hitter. I think he's still adjusting a little bit to like his thought process at bats because it's rushed. Um, but yeah, I'm a Mark Canna guy. Drew, who underperformed for you?
In the Marlins series,
Yeah,
I think we're leaving a big name out. I don't want to like single out somebody, but 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, six earned runs, two
Just say
home
it.
runs. Cookie wasn't great. Wasn't the best.
Seems like an understatement at this point.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up too because he was my team. He was my Tom Seaver Award winner for
Odd choice by you.
best pitcher on the team.
There were 2 former Cy Young winners, and then Kodai Senga and Tyler McGill, and you went Carlos Carrasco, Jared. So
He did lead us in wins last year. It's just not looking so well right now. He might actually be the guy that gets left out of the rotation. I feel like when Verlander comes back.
Carrasco's a runner-up.
Yes, he is.
And it was having Francisco Alvarez like when that was his debut when Carrasco was pitching on the mound there, which kind of it was interesting. 2 guys from the same country. One's like I think Carrasco's like 15 or 16 years older than Francisco Alvarez.
something like that.
Do you guys think that had anything to do with maybe Carrasco's performance and maybe like Alvarez didn't feel like he could have as much of a say because there's so much that age difference? Or
I think it's just the pitch clock is affecting guys that are older, and especially a guy like Carlos Carrasco who doesn't have the strongest command or the strongest velocity. So I think he's just a guy who's it's clearly showing that the pitch clock is affecting the older pitcher. And I think it's clearly showing on Carlos Carrasco. And I hope he can turn it around. But like I said, with Justin Verlander coming back and Peterson shoving kind of, and Tyler McGill looking all right, I think it might be Carrasco being left out.
It's also worth noting that like Omar Narvaez caught him before Alvarez, and he also gave up 5 runs at 4 innings pitched. So
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, between the 2 games that he started this year, 11 earned runs, and I just want to read to you this scenario from the Marlins game that he pitched. It was the hanging slider with an 0-2 count to De La Cruz for a 3-run homer in the top of the first. Like I just don't think that's acceptable from a starting pitcher on any major league team, let alone my Mets. So
World Series or bust. Not with Carrasco, though.
yeah,
Not with Carrasco.
yeah, and it's like it's 0-2, and I guess maybe he feels like the slider that's his kind of like the put the guy away kind of pitch, and you just got to execute it.
No break on it, I feel like, either. Not any break.
No, yeah, he left it hanging, and De La Cruz. I mean, the Marlins like. Did anyone see Luis Arias' stat line through like 13, 12 games? He's hitting like 500. Like the guy's like, why did the Twins let this guy go?
because they're desperate for pitching and Pablo Lopez is available. I don't agree with it, but that's why they did it.
It's insane. And like, why do you have to come to the NL East too? Like,
He's already hit for a
I
cycle.
kind of like the Marlins on it. Like, obviously they're division rivals, but like, they got a fun team to watch.
They do have a fun team. I hate Jazz, but I will admit he is a fun. I think he's overrated a bit, but he is fun to watch.
if we had Jazz Chisholm, you would be like,
You'd be
oh,
unstoppable.
Chisholm's gonna win the MVP.
Yeah.
Like, you would love him. That's why, like, I don't rush to say hate, because like, he's fun to watch, man. Like, he brings like a cool energy to baseball. Like he's not like a traditional sense. Like he's not. I guarantee if you talk to him about like the unwritten rules of baseball, he'd like spit in your face. Like he's one of those guys.
He's just having fun.
Exactly. So that 7-2 loss with Cookie. I mean, we won the series. Thanks to Kodai Senga. John Curtis also pitched a perfect 8th inning in relief. But one of the biggest issues for the Mets, and actually we'll get to that after we talk about the Padres series too, because it's kind of an issue that's been following them throughout. Padres series. Who is your player of the series for that?
I'm gonna go with David Robertson to start off.
I'm with you on that, Josh. Now I don't have to say it.
So in game one, he takes down Bogarts. Or am I looking at this wrong? Hold on a second. Either or. He comes on in the 8th and takes out in game one Trent Grisham, Manny Machado, and Juan Soto. Strikes out one, gets a fly ball from the next, and a strikeout on the next guy. And then game 3 with the game 2-5, he gets on out from Bogarts, Matt Carpenter, and Rougned Odor to hand it off to Adam Ottavino to get the save in both games. I love David Robertson.
Yeah, Josh, I just want to point out that Amish Country Mets fan thinks you're a creepy picture guy.
Well, I think when
Your name now. Your name now, dude.
when you add the red eyes on David Peter or the Tommy Hunter, I think that is a justified title.
Yeah. All right, Jimmy, what about you? Player of the series?
I'm gonna be quick because my puppy just knocked something over that I have no clue what he knocked over. But my player of the series, I'm going with Brandon Nimmo. He had a big game the other night, went 3 for 5. He went 1 for 4 in the first game of the series. He slacked in the second game of the series, but he was a huge part, I feel like, of this series. So I'm going with Brandon Nimmo. Oh, puppy's right next to me. Let's go.
All right, what's up? How about you, Drew?
I think I'm gonna agree there. I'm gonna go David Robertson. I mean, he's what we need right now. I'm very impressed. He's versatile. He can do it all. And I would like to see more of him going forward, to be completely honest.
I like what they're doing too with him and Ottavino.
Yeah, and that kind of brings up like they both. It's nice to know that they've kind of stepped up and have come into this role and like really taken it on, and we kind of have these two options. But if you had, who I guess do you trust more? I know it's really early, but who do you trust more, David Robertson or an Adam Ottavino to close out your games? Because I also had David Robertson as my best because of those big outs he got with Soto. I mean, with where is it? Yeah, the third game. Like if the Mets don't win that third game, I think our whole perspective on this West Coast trip is different. But he comes into the game with 2 guys on base in a 4-2 game and gets him out. And one of those guys was Juan Soto. But who do you guys trust more, Adam Ottavino or Dave Robertson?
It's definitely Robertson for me right now. I mean, we've already seen Ottavino choke away a game in Milwaukee, which isn't like a giant indictment on him as a player, but it was a tie game versus the games he's come in with the lead. He's looked good, but in those other more tense situations, he's just kind of fallen so far, and Robertson just hasn't. And he has more closing time, so I just trust him.
Yeah, I think what Josh alluded to is perfect. Like Ottavino, we saw I don't think it's a knock against Ottavino, like Josh said. Like it's going to happen. It's probably going to happen to David Robertson as well throughout this year. Relievers just get shanked sometimes, but I just think I trust David Robertson more, especially based off of his track record with the New York Yankees as well. He stepped in for Mariano Rivera one year and he did really well. So I'm not saying he's going to replace Edwin Diaz's numbers, but if I had to give one guy the ball in a crucial spot, I think I'm going Robertson.
My gut wants me to pick Ottavino. Sorry, I just blanked for a second.
There you go.
David Robertson is just hot right now. Like I don't know. I feel like he's got it. And in baseball, you got to go with the trends. And I feel like you got to trust him. Just let him cook.
Let that man cook, as some people would say.
But not Russell Wilson anymore. We don't acknowledge that.
Yeah, I think it is kind of, it's, Buck's only going to, David Robertson's not going to be the closer some nights. Some nights he's going to be the guy that comes in the 8th when, you got Austin Riley, Matt Olson, and Ronald Acuna up to bat, in the 8th inning. Ottavino will come on in the 9th. But it's nice knowing we have some of that flexibility there. I mean, obviously we miss Sugar every day. How was I don't mean to backtrack, but when Edwin Diaz got called up at the home opener, how electric was that? Or was it more sad?
A little bit of both. I think it was just like happiness, like tears of joy. Like, okay. Jesus, dog. Yeah, just right. Yeah.
She really
Tyson,
misses
I think,
Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, he misses. He does.
He's in mourning.
He is. He hates he hates the fact that we have to go a whole entire year without hearing the trumpets.
I actually
But,
remember seeing the dog holding up a sign at the Oprah saying "ban the WBC." It was kind of alarming, but
That's, listen, I just think if you guys saw what he said though, like recently, like this week, he said he might be able to come back if the Mets are in a position where he's like feels like he's ready. He'll be here, like late October.
Cool.
Potentially.
Yeah, no, that was a nice interview to hear.
Yeah.
So you guys players of series, we had David Robertson, right? David Robertson,
Correct.
and then
I went Nimmo.
you went Nimmo. I also had David Robertson, so it's kind of funny, but also a little bit boring that we had so many similar ones. But who do you think really underperformed, or maybe who surprised you? Disappointed or surprised? You can pick whichever one you want. I could go first.
Yeah.
I really was surprised with Tommy Pham in some parts of the game. In that series, big hit in Game 3, extend our lead. Game 1, did he play in Game 1? I don't know, but just at DH, Tommy Pham, his not a consistent bat, but like he's come up in big spots, and that's been really nice to see, especially with the whole, everything we kind of just went through with Darren Ruff. Having Tommy Pham at least contribute a little bit, also showed an ability to steal a base. I was surprised by him.
I like that. I feel like when we get production out of that DH spot too, we win a lot. I feel like that's just something that maybe the Mets should take note of. Maybe I love Vogie. I think he gets on base he's over 400 on base percentage right now. But yeah, I'll steal yours too. I think Tommy Pham was a player that I was surprised by. But for a player that I was disappointed in, I'm gonna go Starlin Marte. That's my guy. But Marte 0 for 4 in the last game of the series. And I think he was 0 for he only played 2 out of 3 games. So
he got hurt in one of them.
Yeah, so I'm not really
Game 3.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not really worried about it, but he definitely disappointed me because I do hold Starlin Marte to a high standard.
It's leading the team in batting average.
Yeah.
268.
He's a beast. He's a beast. He's one of our most consistent pieces.
one thing that disappointed me, and it's kind of ironic that I'm saying this, despite the fact I think he had a pretty good series on the whole, was Lindor. 6 strikeouts in the Padres series, and if you look at his Baseball Savant page, there's some kind of troubling stuff. His strikeout rate right now is 32.7. It is the highest of his career it's ever been, and more than doubling his career average. And he's got an 81% chase rate right now, which is also the highest it's ever been in his career. So it's those low breaking balls they're throwing in the 2 strike counts that are just nailing them. And I think he'll be fine. We've seen kind of Francisco go through this kind of slump before, but it's just something to be on the lookout for now.
Yeah, I think Shane's Sons put up a stat actually. Like he is striking out a lot on breaking pitches, and he's really having trouble. So I'm not, like you said, I'm not worried, but I feel like he's just swinging for power a lot more this year. I'm not sure if you guys noticed that, but I feel like he's just really trying to get it into the gap, crank one over the wall. But if he can get back to that his pure hitting ways, which we all know that he's capable of doing. I mean, he hit over 300 in the second half of last year, and I think we can get that Lindor back.
Nothing irks me more than when I see Lindor strike out on his knee reaching for a slider at the bottom of the strike zone or outside the strike zone. Nothing actually, I think, makes me more angry. Drew, what about you?
Yeah, that's a great point, Josh. I was gonna mention Lindor and his struggles. Yeah, Amish Country Mets fan. I agree. He is a slow starter. He does tend to get in those slumps that we see. I guess we're probably all disappointed by, but Escobar, man.
Hey, he's a friend of the show.
He is a friend of the show. You be careful.
I know, but
when he hits for the cycle this Friday, I cannot wait. I really can't. If he turns it around, I'm just saying, I'm taking credit for it. I'm already warning every Mets fan, even though it's not going to be me and it's going to be all Eduardo Escobar. I'm pulling for him now. Not going to lie. I'm pulling for him.
Listen. when Escobar hits for the cycle, because it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen.
You do it 2 years in a row. Okay.
I'm just
That's
gonna
gonna happen.
I'm just gonna leave Albany and start running down 87 all the way down to City Field just so I can shake his hand.
I'm gonna FaceTime him on Instagram and just be like, "Yo, you my guy, bro. I told you. I told you."
He's gonna be like,
That was
"Who
an
are you? How'd you
wait.
get
That was
this
an
number?"
Instagram DM. I thought it was a Twitter DM.
Oh no, I don't. I think he was blocking everybody on Twitter and stuff today, so I felt bad for him. So like, yeah, a lot of people were throwing him shade. So I was like, you know what? I feel like everybody always get like every athlete. I feel like always gets
That's-
shit on in their DMs. So I feel
That's
like you know what? Maybe Escobar could use a little like serotonin boost. Like, yo, just letting you know, like, there's a few Mets fans pulling for you. Like, it's not all hate. Like, we don't hate you. We love you and we want you to do well. And I'm rooting for you.
That's why no one wants to play here.
That is so
Because
why no one wants
it's
to
like,
play you.
dude, you play one bad stretch of like it could be a series, 2 series. You're getting death threats in your DMs. People are saying you're a bum.
Sliding in your
What's the
mom's
new
DMs.
thing? Get ready to learn Chinese. All this stuff. Like, dude, like at the end of the
Don't be
day,
an
it's just
asshole.
baseball.
Like the Darren Ruff, I'm not sure if you guys saw, but he went through like a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah, he went through a lot of shit. So like, it does weigh on these guys, and I think he brought up a great point. Like the media in New York, like it's so different because like the writers, the journalists, they go by what the fans say. They don't go by what their actual sources say. So they'll
Well, are you going by? Well, hold on. You're talking about like Anthony DeComo and like Tim Britton.
DeComo is good. DeComo is valid.
I
But
mean, if
I'm
you're talking about like Michael
Andy
Kay and every guy in the
Martino.
fan,
Yeah.
These
those-
people.
they're not journalists. Those are commenters. It's like
Oh
they're-
yeah,
they're
well, you know, Andy
personalities.
Martino, Andy Martino.
Well, if you trust Martino or read his stuff, that's on you in the first place. So like,
Just get that out of the way. We're not an Andy Martino show. We're DeComo people.
Yeah, we're not giving that guy who works for SNY any free press.
still owned by the Wilpons. Just gonna say that SNY. Just saying.
Hey, they brought Gary, Keith, and Ron together, so
Well, it's the only good thing they did, pretty much. So congrats to them.
some cool things about this Padres series. Actually, the first time we ever beat you, Darvish. So that was a nice demon exercise. What else cool happened? Yo, the shout out to the grounds crew.
OD.
That was one of the
clutch.
that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen, and I'm sure everyone else agrees. But like,
Never gonna happen again, probably.
and like you loathe Thomas Nito, Josh. But like, how could you hate the guy after he did something cool like that? You know?
Well, he's done other things. You know, like if the bunt single is like his only thing of the season, I love him. But hasn't
Well,
happened.
it was Guillorme who hit the bunt. Nito chopped one down the third baseline.
Yeah, he
and
can't
it-
even bunt. He can't do that right either. So he just chopped it. You're sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to compliment him.
Yeah, you did. What else? I mean, David Peterson. What'd you guys think of his start?
He deserved
game
to
two.
win. He deserved to win. I was a little like upset that he didn't get that win. I think he's thrown great, and I'm excited to see what David Peterson can do going forward because he was a first round draft pick, and we love him. So hopefully he can keep this going. He really deserved that win, though. That's got to pull through.
It just sucks, dude. Like that Padres lineup is so it's just so good.
Machado, man.
I'm not impressed by that because, like you said, their lineup is great, but it's not like they, if they're so good, where's their World Series? Where's their deep playoff run?
Well, I think that was last year.
I mean, they beat us because,
Yeah.
I mean, reasons we
They
could say
shellacked us
whatever,
because of
but-
that lineup, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, you got a lineup where Juan Soto is bunting, and I don't know. I just think this should be a higher caliber team than they are.
I mean, they definitely should have beaten the Phillies. That was crazy. They lost to them. I mean, they just ran into the Phillies at they're the hottest team in baseball.
Doesn't make any sense.
For that stretch of games. But dude, like Xander Bogaerts, and then you gotta hit Manny Machado, and then you gotta deal with Juan Soto. And like Cronenworth is struggling, but he's not bad. And like, I don't know. I still have nightmares about like Ha-Sung Kim and Trent
guy.
Grisham,
Trent Grisham last year in the playoffs will turn into prime Barry Bonds.
or like Austin Nola.
That fucking guy.
Like he's not like they're not great, but like they're just good against the Mets. I don't know.
They're Mets killers. I gotta say.
Like the whole bottom third of that Padres lineup is like they're not great, but they're just good against the Mets. But that's always the case when you're a fan of our team. What did you guys think of Scherzer's start on Monday? Obviously, 5 innings pitched, 1 hit, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. But he only went 5 innings through like 97 pitches. What were your guys' thoughts on Max's start on Monday?
He's got a pretty high pitch count, but I think he's finding his groove. In a weird way, I'm kind of glad he only went 5 because that 6th inning is like his curse. That's when he starts to fall off this season. But I think as time goes on, he'll find his groove with this new pitch clock, and we'll get to see that Mad Max, the good old Max we saw for the majority of last season. So,
Yeah, that's
fine
what I
with
was
it.
going to say. Like, it's a little troubling how hard he's having to work sometimes to just get some outs and get through 5 innings, but it's a really good lineup, and I'll take 5 really great innings versus trying to go 6 and then things get rocky. And maybe, like Drew's saying, it's a symbol of like, all right, he's got a shutout in his books officially, a 5-inning shutout ball. Maybe just having that in the back of his mind can let him go forward with a little more ease.
The Scherzer redemption tour, like you said, Josh. I think he was.
Redemption. For 2 games. He had 2 bad games. Redemption.
Matt, he didn't have just 2 bad games. If you look across
Well,
like
the playoffs too.
his last I'll pull it up real quick on my phone just to
Like
get
7 starts at like or whatever it was, like a 7 ERA. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very bad. It's very bad. He's not very good. So we need Scherzer, I think, to just find it back. Like Drew said, the pitch clock might be really hurting him a little bit. And like Josh, even you mentioned, like he's working very hard even for those outs. But hopefully those 5 innings, like those not shutout ball. Did he let up 1 run, right? Or was it shutout?
No, it was a shutout. He
was?
he had a no-hitter until Ha-Sung Kim broke it up in the 5th inning.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I'm still worried about him going forward because it was only 5 innings. But then again, maybe they are kind of conserving him for postseason time if we get there, because we all know the Mets.
With Scherzer, it's like he's our ace, right?
Yeah, ace. Kodai's my ace though. The
Whatever.
people's ace.
Pitching 97 pitches, 5 innings, like he worked way too hard to be our ace, and that's a little alarming thing. A little alarming. It's like, he's not like one of our guys. We didn't grow up with him. We actually mostly all grew up rooting against him and wanting him to beat him up. So it's like
only threw like 2 no-hitters against us.
The leash is short, and it seems like from what I've seen, his like quotes and responses, like he's like a little defensive. Has anyone else kind of got that? If, like in his post game stuff, he's like, "Oh, I'm not like I'm fine." Like it's, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what it is, but I don't know.
Yeah, he is. He's sensitive. I don't think he's like overly sensitive, but I feel like he definitely gets it. Like
he's a professional, like no doubt.
But I feel like that's also a good thing because he's not to the point where he's like Julius Randle or Javier Baez booing us back. It's like he's like, you know what? I'm pissed off. You guys want to say I'm bad? No, I'm back. I'm Max Scherzer. Just like Amish country Mets fan just said. Shout out Nelson, man. He just hates people. He outright hates people. I don't think he wants anybody to be in his right. And you even saw it though. I feel like just having him in the dugout though too just really helps because you saw him like arguing with the umpire even when he's not in the game and stuff like that. So I really want him to find it back because we really need Mad Max. We can't just have Max Scherzer. We need Mad Max.
Any other thoughts on Scherzer before we pivot to our next thing, which I think it's the biggest issue this Mets offense is facing right now. But any last thoughts on Scherzer?
I'm all set.
Word. All right. So here it is. The Mets offensive woes. Is it okay for us to start panicking about the Mets' inability to hit with runners in scoring position? Amish country Mets fan, you read my notes. The Mets were 4-12 at runners in scoring position in a win on Game 3 when they won 5-2 the other day on Wednesday. They were 1-8 on the 4-2 loss to the Padres. And then, they actually won in the 5-0 game on Monday. They were 3-6. The Marlins series, they left how many on base? First, in the home opener that James was at, they were 2-15 with runners in scoring position. Game 2, game they lost, a game they won 5-2. They were 2-8 with runners in scoring position. And in Game 3, they were stranded 10 runners on base. So, is it okay to start panicking? If not, when should we start panicking?
Oh, Jimmy, you're muted.
Your
This is
mic.
embarrassing.
Don't worry, the one viewer, he's not going to kill us, man.
But whatchamacallit, I'm going probably like mid-May, I'd say, if this starts to continue.
Hey.
Yeah, I'd give mid-May.
Whoa.
Not
Mid-May.
even Memorial Day?
Nope.
You're just like what, May 15th?
May 15th, dead center.
I'll
Well,
hold you
there's
to it.
31 days. So May 15th at like 12 o'clock noon. That's when we could start panicking. But I think, it's really just Alonso and Lindor. If they can, they hit solo shots, I believe, in the home opener. Definitely Alonso did. I'm not remembering if Lindor did off the top of my head, but I just think, Barstool was even talking about it on their Mets pod, even though I hate those guys. I was just listening to some Mets content today.
Shout out to people I hate.
Yeah. But they brought up a good point. It's like when Alonso and Lindor don't hit, this Mets offense sucks, and it kind of like goes to show you, like, I feel like we just need more guys. It helps when Eduardo Escobar does get a hit, because in the games he does, like when we get a nice little single out of Eduardo Escobar, we win the game usually. But when he goes over, that's when we lose. So I think we just need more production out of that spot. I think you give him probably till May, like I said, and then you call up Beatty, because Beatty's tearing it up. And you also have Ronnie Mauricio too, who's tearing it up, who looks MLB ready. I'm not too sure about Vientos and Alvarez yet, but I love Mauricio and Beatty.
Well, Alvarez is here to stay. He's not going back down.
He shouldn't go back down.
He's here to stay.
Yeah, we need another third string catcher, but that's another topic.
All right, but runners in scoring position. Yeah, Drew.
It is tough. It's been my, you can't beat a dead horse, but I've been saying this for almost about a year now. We need power bats. I thought we were going to get some at the deadline. We did not. I thought we were going to get some in the offseason. We did not. But
almost did.
Yeah, I thought we were going to, and then you went back to the Twins. Ironically enough, I think the power bats we need are just in Syracuse, and it's weird because Mauricio, he's never played above he's never played above AA before this year, and he's just it's like an MLB The Show player. Like, he's just nuts. I don't understand it, but if I give him a little bit more, he should stay down there for a little longer, because it could just be not beginner's luck, but he could be in a good groove, and I don't want him to come up and not play well and then get all rattled. But I do want to see Beatty up very badly. But yeah, the power bats are just. I want to see some bombs. That's honestly all it. We're not raising the apple enough. We're not getting those runs batted in.
Thank you, Amish country Mets fan. I just want to point that out. Yeah, bringing the young guys in could definitely be some kind of influx of power. I don't know, Josh, what are your thoughts?
I give it to the end of this month, and then anything past that, it's real bad. We are third worst in terms of MLB teams with batting average, runners in scoring position. The only two teams behind us are the Royals and the Tigers.
Oh,
so
that's bad company.
The Pirates are ahead of us. The Oakland A's are ahead of us. The Angels are ahead of us. The Marlins are ahead of us. The Cincinnati Reds are ahead of us. That's fun. So it's not great, but I think this is at least a good stretch here to figure out who the team kind of is more. And I know that's kind of the cliche thing to say, but 3 games against Oakland, bad team. You should beat them up. And then it's the Dodgers. So if you want to be the best, you got to play with the best. And then it's the Giants. It's another good team. And then it's the Nationals and the Braves. So it's kind of a chance to just like get on the right foot and also have some gimme games, quote unquote, and other games to really challenge yourself and figure out who you are and if you can rise to the occasion. And if they can't by the end of this month, and when they go through all of that, then to me it's time to be like, all right, this might just be a thing for the year.
I felt the same way. Being just like even like Jared said, being in the conversation with those guys, man. Oh, it hurts my stomach.
I mean, Amish country
The
Mets fan,
Royals.
numbers never lie. I mean, it's just a straight fact that.
You sound like Ben Shapiro right now.
Oh, I was more going for the. Remember that old show on ESPN with
There's a lot of them.
It was literally called Numbers Never Lie. It was Jamel Hill, Jamel Smith, and then this other dude. It was like always on around like when part of the interruption and around the horn. Like it was one of those shows that they just kind of threw in there in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just can't remember the host though.
Yeah, it's gonna kill me, but it's
Michael Smith. Yeah.
Michael Smith. Yeah, yeah, he kind of fell off. He's not on
We're
it.
doing
but,
a
like,
Michael Smith career retrospective right now.
yeah, he was good. Yeah, Jamel Hill, she's still like on TV and doing stuff, but yeah, Michael Smith has not been on TV really since then. I always liked that show. That was a good show back when I was like 13 or whatever. It's concerning. I would give it to Memorial Day. I feel like that's a natural checkpoint for the year, you know? I think the end of the month is a little. I get what you're saying about the schedule, and we have those like kind of gimme games against Oakland, but we saw how playing in Oakland went for us last year.
No
You want
comment.
to think about Jacob deGrom's start that might have cost us the division. 2 of Jacob deGrom's starts that probably cost us the division. Another one was a loss against the Cubs that I was there for, which sucked. But I don't know. We have it is like it's crazy seeing Beatty, Vientos, and Mauricio rake like absolutely rake. And actually Mauricio, I mean the numbers all just went up. Mauricio's leading all 3 of them in every statistical category: hits, walks, home runs, RBIs, not OPS. But I don't know. Memorial Day, I think, is the time where it's like, oh shoot, like yeah, our offense is really only Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor, and if they can't do anything, we're kind of screwed. And that's something that's been really bothering me these last couple of games. Somebody's just gotta step up.
Yeah, and that's what makes it frustrating too. It's because like the Barstool guys were talking about it. They were like, well, if any other two best players they don't hit on their team, they usually don't win. But I was like, that's not true, because just look at across town, the Yankees, when Aaron Judge doesn't hit, they still got Anthony Rizzo, who's tearing it up to start the year. Giancarlo Stanton is having a pretty good year now, and Gleyber Torres, who even across town, they got guys. It's like, and especially with our $364 million payroll, like I love the top 5 guys. I love them. But outside of that, this offense is just lackluster. It's just the best way to put it. I think, like Josh said, I think Canna can stay. I think like even a Vogie could stay. But I think the one switch is, I hate to do it to my guy, man. I hate to, because he just became my guy today. But Escobar, man, I just want to see him start pulling through, or he might have to make that move to the bench and be in that pinch hitting role, because I don't know who they demote if they have to call one of these guys up pretty soon. But I just think like Memorial Day for the rest of the guys, but with Escobar, I think he's on a very short leash, shorter than we might think.
Well, I'd rather have Escobar in a bench role and come pinch hit than Tomas Nido.
That is a fact.
Like what happened the other night in our loss to the Padres, because we actually put together a 9th inning rally. Josh Hader was not throwing great stuff, and we had a chance. And for some reason, we chose Luis Guillorme over Thomas Nito. You know? So maybe have an Escobar on that bench role, give us some more depth, at bat wise. I don't know. It could be good, but
He's also just a great presence in the locker room. Everything we've read, like everyone universally loves him, and like you need that to get through a long season.
yeah.
You do. And he is streaky. Like he is streaky. So maybe if there's another like hot streak left in Eduardo Escobar, like I think that's what the Mets also are trying to see if they can get it out of him. It's just how long's the leash? That's the big question.
I think realistically he has until the 25th. That's when we come back home from the West Coast trip. We have a day off in between the games. You can get Beatty up here, give him a day to get settled. And if Escobar doesn't pick it up by then, I think Beatty would be up. But that's like, I don't know. That's what I would do. But I also don't know how much Billy Epler's going to stand by Escobar.
I'm gonna write that down, Josh. You said April 25th.
April 25th. It's against the Nationals. It's at home. It's the start of a 6-game home streak at the very least.
What I say, actually, like Escobar, I think he needs to see a therapist. The cats are in his head. We should all see therapists. I think it'd be good for everybody.
That's a fact. I see one.
Where's the Mets therapist? We talked about that last episode, right?
We should make that a segment.
That is, yeah.
Stadium therapist.
Oh yeah, Josh, you didn't write any
Any haikus or whatever?
long-winded poems.
No, that's not here yet. It's just been a little bit of a middling start. Like I don't know. This is maybe like a tangent real quick, but like I'm just not like feeling juice right now this year, and it's kind of like hampering the vibe a little bit. Like this 6-6 start, it's like it's fine. We're a team, like that's what it feels like right now.
Yeah,
It's like just we were a top 5 team last year. Now we're just like
Now we're just like
middle of the pack.
well, it's just we didn't lose a series for so long, so it was like, yo, we're so good every night, and like all of us weren't used to that, and we were able to just like talk about it over and over again, like just how like we were really just like, oh, the Mets, oh, Pete Alonso, oh, Scherzer, that was the whole show last year.
I hate to bring this up, but the Phillies, man.
They'll be back.
Last year they were in a position they were not great. And
they turned it on.
Baseball is all about streaking.
At the right time. Yeah, on the field. People streak.
If you get hot at the right time, man, like I think our problem was we were hot for a while, and then obviously the inevitable happened. I don't care what happens this season, as long as we're in the right spot come October and we're ready to go. That's all that matters, because that one World Series win is going to feel better than anything in my entire life.
And before we could even get to that, we still have how many games left do we have? 150. 150.
Booyah.
We got to get through 10 games in 10 days on the West Coast. The dreaded West Coast trip happens every year. We got the Oakland A's, Los Angeles Dodgers, and the San Francisco Giants. We got 3 games in Oakland. We got 3 more games in LA, and then 4 games in San Francisco. And then, looking at all the rosters of all these teams, there's a lot of ex-Mets. This is going to be pretty fun. What do you guys think?
Going west is always fun, I feel like, for the Mets. I love their road uniforms. There's something about the gray uniforms. I just love seeing them. But that's a side note, except with the new patch. But I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a big test against the Dodgers. I'm not really too worried because it's too early on in the season. But, I'm definitely going to be looking at guys like Josh said earlier in the show. I want to see Lindor get going. I think he's a guy that needs to get going. Hopefully Scherzer can have another bounce back start. And then, out in Oakland, hopefully we can beat those guys up and get hot, because we all know Oakland is not the strongest team in the world. So hopefully we can just get our momentum going up against them. Kodai can have a good day. Start it off. Let's go. Kodai, baby.
Hey, and we have 2 old friends on the Oakland A's roster, Jarius Familia.
Oh.
And Trevor May.
Blew a game today at Adelaide Rutschman.
Yeah, he gave up a walk-off home run, right?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, Trevor.
I would kill for Adley Rutschman. Like I would really do like awful things to people if I get Adley Rutschman on the Mets.
To have a catcher that, could play
Just a
offense
tank.
and
Like I'm hopeful that Alvarez can become that, but God, like Rutschman just is the real deal.
I believe at game 1 we have Kodai versus James Cap. You know what? I don't care about the A's pitchers. They're all pretty irrelevant, right?
2 wins, right?
No,
That's
it's-
they have 2 wins
It's
on the year.
James Capradian, right? Game 2 we got Carlos Carrasco versus Shintaro Fujinami. Am I saying that
Yeah,
right?
he he's another pitcher from Japan, right?
He has to be.
Yep.
Yeah, he just came over this year, I believe. He had a rough first start, I know.
And then we got Scherzer versus JP Sears. Yeah. And then I'm glad you brought up the LA series, kind of, because, we have another old friend, except he's not a friend for Drew. He's pitching 4th in their rotation. No one?
Is it-
No one?
Already hates it.
No one?
Oh,
No.
you muted.
Noah Syndergaard.
You muted, Drew. Yeah.
He's been ready to go, and he's been on mute.
Is it Noah? Poor Noah.
Yeah, it's Noah Syndergaard.
I think we might need to fly out west.
Odds. What are the odds that he avoids starting against the Mets or being in the ballpark against the Mets?
Minus 800.
Oh, Drew's Mike. Oh no, when we needed him most, our hero.
Come on, where's your Syndergaard rant, man?
He's trying to. His mic, I think, is being funky.
Oh, the brand new mic.
No.
He just got it. He's using it for the first time. Oh, no.
I bet Syndergaard's gonna be sick, quote unquote.
That would be like, I would love to see him pitch against us, man. I would love it.
Oh, like I want to see Syndergaard versus Kodai Senga. That's what I want to see. 34 versus the old 34.
That would be cool. They didn't have many of the, it's a little too far in advance to know when guys are pitching. And then the Giants also, Thor is a little, come on, man. You don't have to censor yourself here. We got their 2 through 5 hitters, at least the other night, were Wilmer Flores, Michael Conforto, JD Davis, and of course, Darren effing Ruff.
The old Mets, baby.
How did you guys feel when Darren Ruff slapped that 1-run double in his first at bat back?
And Conforto scored.
Yeah.
Drew,
Brought
your mic's
back,
still not working.
I said it was Billy Epler's biggest mistake in the text, and I thought it was funny because it could kind of get interpreted either way,
Oh yeah.
No
I
one-
didn't even
no
see
one,
though.
no one responded to it. So.
I'm past Darren Ruff. I'm choosing to move on from him as a person.
I feel bad for him because of what he went through, but listen, at the end of the day, he didn't produce. I think he's just better off for both sides that he's back home in San Francisco, a place where he feels more comfortable.
I was
Is it
happy.
working?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Go
Yeah,
off
we
against
might,
Syndergaard. Let's go.
We might
Let's
see
hear
a
it.
Syndergaard. Let's go.
Syndergaard, if you can hear this, we're coming for you. And by we, I mean Kodai is coming for you. I think, right? Yeah. Kodai is coming for you. Sorry, I had to read that over. April 19th. Trust me when I say I'll be in that parking lot. I'll be in LA, and I'll be watching you get shelled because my guy's got the ghost forkball, and he's coming for you and your team. This guy, I think, all jokes aside, I think that series is going to be a great test against a good, strong, quality team. I think if that's get the momentum going, get the guys batting some runs in, I think it's going to be there. Thor is a little bitch. I'm not afraid to say it. YouTube, you can cancel me. Everybody go ahead, unfollow me on Instagram, block me on Twitter. I'm going all year with this.
Are you wearing? I have a question. Are you wearing Tim's as well with your whole fit right now, Drew?
100%. Oh, wait, no. I'm barefoot. I was going to show my feet, but that's kind of weird.
Yeah, like I think we drew. That's where
If
we
there
draw
was
the
a
line.
video of you, I had just had an image of you wearing exactly what you're wearing with like jeans and like some steel toe Tims, and going to the parking lot at the Dodger Stadium and like absolutely like just like breaking through the barricade and like body slamming Noah Syndergaard. I feel like that
I wouldn't
would be the
do it
most
'cause
New York thing ever.
I like my I don't want to go to jail. I heard it's a bad place, but
I don't want to go to jail.
maybe I'd like slap him if I knew I was gonna like nothing was gonna happen. I'd slap him. Maybe a nice punch in the shoulder, like
Get a
dead
slap,
arm.
a slap. Anyone watch South Park? Anyone
Do
know
I
that?
watch South Park? Come on.
You know which one I'm talking about?
you.
We're
Silly.
only 20-year-old
Come on,
men.
dude. Come on, man.
You know what I'm talking like the
I do like my freedom.
It's a High School Musical episode.
yeah. I just want to play
know.
basketball. a slapping, slap.
What are you doing here? What are you saying? Terrific episode.
Yeah. Oh, it slept on. It slept on. Yeah. I mean, we got a bunch of ex-Mets. The game time. I mean,
Oh,
the great part about not the great part, the bad part about West Coast trips. Every game time starts at like 9 or 10. So
Yeah,
Josh is gonna be. That's
tough.
way past Josh's bedtime, like we already are now.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
I'm gonna try. No promises.
But who knows? Maybe with the pitch clock, game's a little bit shorter. You'll be able to go to sleep before 12:30.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking every ex-Met is gonna be like Javi Baez against us. Well, not thinking. I'm hoping.
Who out of all the ex-Mets, who do you think does the best against us on this
Darren
West
Ruff.
Coast trip?
Darren Ruff. Unquestionably. I don't blink.
Okay, Darren Ruff.
I know Conforto's out right now. I'm not sure when he's supposed to be back.
No, really? I would love to see that.
Yeah, but I feel like if Conforto's healthy for us, I think Conforto's going to be the guy that really says a big F you to the New York Mets. Considering, we were like, when he was like a rookie, we were
Dude,
comparing that guy to Aaron Judge. And
Dude, he
then
hit 2 home runs in a World Series game.
Yeah, he's like, I feel like he was projected to be what Brandon Nimmo became. Not potentially our leadoff hitter, but he was supposed to be like, oh, Michael Conforto is going to be our number 3 hitter for a long time. And then Pete Alonso came, Nimmo came. He just kind of fell off the map.
Drew, who's going to do the best?
I have a weird feeling it's gonna be JD Davis.
Oh,
I don't know why. It's like one of those existential crises that I've been having. Is that he's gonna hit a bomb against us and it just crushed my soul. Conforto, it is tough what happened there. I mean, I was a big fan of him when he was here, but
I was going to say JD too, and I'll stick with JD. It's not as like, I think we were all ready for JD Davis to leave last year, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were, I mean, like, I remember being on the show. It's like, yeah, JD Davis, Dom Smith, like either one, like get him out of here. And they essentially did do that. Hasn't really worked out yet. But I think Michael Conforto killing us would hurt me more than JD Davis. And Wilmer Flores, I mean, there were not talks, but I remember last year they're like, hey, let's like try to trade for Wilmer Flores again. And I was like, who are we going to give the Giants for Wilmer Flores? And like, why would the Giants want to get rid of Wilmer Flores? He's been playing great. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with JD Davis, but it's gonna be. I didn't really realize there was this many ex-Mets gonna be on this road trip. So,
so many on the Giants too.
dude,
Like
Yeah.
the Giants literally have like almost every single ex-Met, I feel like, in the league.
and it's
kind
cool.
of like seeing your ex-girlfriend, like, you know what I mean?
Especially Wilmer Flores, because we saw him cry.
Gotta love Wilmer, and it's
I
funny
love
like
Wilmer.
the Giants. Like there wouldn't be a New York Mets if the San Francisco Giants didn't become the San Francisco Giants. And it's cool that they have like that many Mets.
Wilmer Flores was a great Met, though. I'm just looking at his numbers right now, man.
I'll take
He
him
had-
back in a heartbeat.
Dude.
Did he win a Gold Glove?
He didn't, but dude, I'm just looking at his numbers. This guy was hitting. He hit 263, 267, 271. Like,
We were terrible.
yeah, that's good production. If imagine like he was on, like I'm obviously not saying I would rather have Wilmer Flores over Francisco Lindor right now, but like
I
if
might
we
ra-
didn't have Lindor and we had Flores, like it wouldn't be that big of a deal because I feel like Flores' numbers would.
Well,
No.
let's whoa.
Maybe if you said Andres
Whoa.
Jimenez,
Whoa.
Well, like he could be a shortstop on a championship team. That's all I'm saying. I just think
he's a shortstop on a runner-up
We
team.
need to end this. Well, this is.
he was the shortstop on a World Series team. He was
Runner-up.
almost.
Dude, let's not. Come on.
I don't want to talk about that year.
He was only there because of injury. Let's not say like he earned the job. Is there 'cause
Well,
Ruben-
yeah, true.
Yeah,
Ruben.
Ruben Tejada broke his leg. Well, Chase Utley broke his leg.
Yeah, screw that guy.
Don't
You guys
forget,
see-
good old Brody Van Wagenen, non-tendered Flores, my favorite guy.
Dude,
Speaking
oh my
of
god.
speaking of shortstops, though, that raises a question. So in the, let's say hypothetically, we pull those young guys up. Where is Ronnie supposed to play?
DH.
DH left.
Yeah,
third,
left or right
short.
field. DH.
Well, like I don't think he's ever played. Has he played outfield?
I don't
No,
think
but
so.
they need to start giving him reps down there
That's
soon.
it.
if Ronnie's getting called up, it's not going to be for a while. Like he needs to hang out in AAA for a while.
100%. But I'd love to see him start getting those reps in positions where he's gonna play.
It feels like they're just getting ready to trade him. Honestly, if they're keeping
What-
him at the shortstop position, it feels like they're trying to like tell other teams like, "Yo, this guy can be an impact shortstop for you. So who do you want to give us?"
We
for
are
Ronnie?"
literally producing another Mets killer like right before our eyes.
Yep. He's gonna go somewhere and become a long-term shortstop.
You see, like Jared Kalenic is starting to like find a swing.
We don't talk about him.
Pete Crow Armstrong's done pretty good so far with the Cubs.
Come on, dude. It's not.
Andres
Who
Jimenez
else?
looked really good last year.
Who else? Who else did we get rid of that's playing well still? Oh, he was just. You're welcome. Josh. Thank my brain because I got the tip of the
JD
tongue
Davis is
phenomenon.
playing
I
well
can't
right now.
remember.
He's
He's not playing bad. Yeah. It's a typical Mets thing. We can't produce any pitching, and then we get these guys. We trade them away, and they become sick elsewhere.
hmm
So,
They just can't handle the New York groove, dude.
I really hope we get to see Ronnie though, because I really feel like Ronnie is like in this new era of baseball I think this like era that's coming with the pitch clock, all these new rule changes with the shift being banned, the bigger bases. I think like athleticism is being like just highlighted so much more in this game, and with Ronnie's athleticism, I feel like it could really potentially really help a team like the New York Mets.
Great first name. I would love to be on. Yeah, Ronnie. Like,
Now about it. Number.
We could just call
I
you
don't know.
Ronnie, like if you really want, like
What do you guys think of Vientos though, tearing it up? Even though last year he had such long swing, but he's like
I've heard some things about him, like A ball, double A ball. He like didn't show a lot of like effort. Like he was never staying late, and then like Beatty, like he needed a shove from like Beatty and Ronnie and some other guys to like actually start like hanging out and hitting cages more than he should. So that kind of concerns me a little bit. Maybe he's gotten over it, but it seems like Buck doesn't really like him because he can't play defense.
yeah. I think Beatty is definitely the prospect that's going to make the best impact this year, and potentially Alvarez now that he's here. Hopefully he can get it going.
April 25th, Josh. That's your call update. Just
if
circled it.
Escobar does not play well, I think.
Okay, I'll put a print. I'll put an asterisk next.
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
it.
I
I
think-
don't file me if I get it wrong.
I
What
think
happens if
the
Alvarez
man-
struggles? Like what do we do with Alvarez if he like continues to not produce?
You leave him up here.
I just don't want to like have him hit like less than 100. I really hope he gets it going. Like he needs it. Maybe
It'd be
the A
nice
series.
if Buck gave him time. That'd be
It
wild.
would.
Yeah,
It
you
would.
can't give him a game and then say, "Oh, back to the bench." Like we gotta let it. I keep saying this, but we gotta let him cook.
Just gotta let him go through it. I feel like too, like my whole thing is like, I feel like Buck's afraid for him to fail because he doesn't want to mess with his head. But if Francisco Alvarez, if he does fail and he's not strong enough mentally to fail and still turn into the prospect we know he can become, then I think that just shows you that he's not even fit to be here. So I think even if he does fail, I'm not too worried because I think if he's strong-minded, he's gonna be here and he's gonna produce eventually. So I'm not. I feel like let's go through the growing pains. Why not?
Josh, what were you gonna say? Because I think I might be on the same page as you.
I was just gonna say, like, you have to let him fail, and like sometimes guys take time. Like, what's the worst that happens? You play him a lot, he's not ready, and then it's like, all right, well, maybe next year, maybe later. It baffles my mind that Buck can be like, well, we're gonna give him some playing time. And it's like, dude, your catcher is Tomas Nido. What are you talking about? At least DH the dude. You won't play Vogelbach against lefties, and the other guy's Tommy Pham. Like, come on.
Yeah, Pham has been producing this year, but like I think what he said, like Tomas Nido, like it's not like he's. If we get, he's not.
Can I rebuttal? Can I rebuttal?
Yes.
I mean, I think Buck's letting him fail, dude.
Yeah.
He put him up in a spot. You know, runner on like second and third, or maybe the bases were loaded. Ninth inning against one of the best closers of baseball. He put him out there. And he swung at everything outside the strike zone
On a 2-0 count.
Okay, but like still.
no, I'm saying Buck is letting him
Yeah.
go out there and learn from his failures. Like
He is giving him the opportunity.
I don't think of Francisco Alvarez any less because of that one at bat. And the whole game in general, he went 0 for 4. Like it wasn't great. But like he's 21. Like he's gonna be okay. Like the sky's the limit for him. He's gonna he's El Troll. I don't know. That's a good nickname. Such a good nickname.
Just like let him run with the roll. Like I don't care if he goes like 0 for like 20 straight. Like just let him go. Like let him just try.
What's the worst that can happen? And then what's the best that can happen? The
I mean,
best
the
that
offense
can
is
happen
already shit.
is
So like
that's literally we're in the conversation like Josh said with the not the Rays, the Royals and the freaking Tigers. Like that's horrible company.
I wish we were
I think
in the
at this point
conversation
just
with
go
the
through the
Rays.
growing pains. Yeah. Oh, that would be nice.
Man,
Oh my gosh, we're the polar opposite.
They're frauds.
of
They're
the Rays.
frauds. They're frauds. Haven't played a real team. Not a real record in my book.
Yeah, I really though. I like if Alvarez can just turn into the best case scenario. If that happens, it would be a game changer for this whole entire team.
I've got a fan. This is great.
I'm on to boost your ego.
Thank you, guys. It's working.
All right. Should it be time for predictions? We could
Let's do it.
we could do the A series. We could do all the series. Or what are you guys feeling right now?
What if
Yeah.
we
Let's just do the
do,
next two.
yeah, like what's a successful road trip to you guys?
500.
I'll say 6-3. I think the bad teams of Oakland and San Francisco you should at least steal 2 from.
I'm gonna be optimistic. I think the Mets are gonna catch fire. I'm gonna go
Jesus
because
Christ.
Kodai. I think Kodai pitching that game 1 against the A's is actually really gonna help. I think it's just gonna be like a huge momentum boost. And then if we can do work house with the A's, if we can get a sweep, then I think we can take 2 out of 3 with the Dodgers, and then maybe 2 out of 2 with the Giants, 2-2 with the Giants. So I'm gonna go. What is that? 2-1, 3-0. So what is that? 5, 2-7, 7-3, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm putting this in the picks and predictions. Should I do series by series or be like West Coast trip?
Let's say West Coast.
All right.
Yeah, let's do West Coast record. Because at the end of the day, like if we get swept by the Dodgers and we win the other 7 games against the A's and the 4 games against the Giants, like I'll be happy. I'll be upset that we got swept by the Dodgers, of course, but a 7-3 West Coast trip, that would be great.
All right. I said 500 would be a successful road trip. Josh,
I'll say 6-3.
it can't be 6-3. We're playing 10 games.
Oh, whoops, 6-4.
There we go. Drew.
Like that.
Yeah, 6-4 I think is minimal. Like we should absolutely be sweeping the A's. Just
Carrasco,
because
though.
it's the A's. and I think if we can get 3 wins out of San Francisco, I'd be content. A win or two out of Los Angeles is fine, given those other things, but it all starts with the A's. I think we got to smoke them every game.
All right, 500. I'm going at 500 at 5-5. Drew's going 6 for 4. Josh is also going 6 for 4. Jimmy's going 6 for 4. And Amish Country Mets fan, thanks for contributing, dude. He's at 7-3. He's been the most optimistic guy this whole time.
I'm with him,
Like
man.
it.
I like it. I like the 7-3
You got it.
because
I'm just kidding.
we got the
don't
A's,
do it.
man. Got to start hot against the A's. They have what? 2 wins? 3 wins?
3.
Kodai Senga is going to tie them for wins this year. Let's go.
All right. Yeah. Thank you again for all the support. Like, subscribe, share. Jimmy, if you want to shout out the handles.
Oh, yeah. At the Mets Way, Twitter. At the Mets Way, Instagram. At the Mets Way on Facebook. Check out the Mets Way blogs, too. Going to get some more posting up, too. So,
I'm
we got to
working on
get
some
Josh's
stuff.
poems up there. Like the eulogies and stuff like that. That would help.
I've been working on trying to get some, Amish Country Mets fans, stick around. Maybe I'll want to interview you or something. Trying to do a thing about Mets fans and their stories. But yeah.
Yes, sir.
I want to see poems. Hear that? A lot of pressure on Josh. You got a fan. You got to please him now.
We might have to go back to the well.
That's what I'm saying. The Mets blogs, man. The blogs are fun. Like, especially like blogging, not actually writing like articulated, like, like
You mean just
legit
smashing the
pieces.
keyboard?
Yeah, I like it. I like blogging too. It's fun.
All right.
Yeah, Amish Country Mets fan said he's down for the interview though.
Let's go. All right, I'll DM you, bro. Or could be a girl too. I actually have no idea.
Oh, he's a dude. He's a dude.
It's a dude.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
know.
Cool.
I know him from Twitter. He's a good guy. He's got some YouTube videos up too, actually, on the Mets. They're pretty. He's got some good stuff.
All right, shout out Amish Country Mets fan. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for anyone else who's watching. You gotta believe, right, Josh?
No, you don't. You don't have to do anything you don't want to.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Deuces.
Let's go Mets.